Hi everyone, my name is Aleya and I am from Luxury Vacation Investments, and right now I'm here in Mexico with one of my strategic partners that I wanted to introduce to you guys and ask some questions to. This is Rachel from Jungle Luxe.
Hi, how are you? So
Good.
glad to be with you today.
Thank you for being on this interview for us today. So Rachel here, I'm going to let her tell you her story, but what drew me to her was that she has a background in real estate in the US as well as interior design. And just to give you some context, she is now our go-to property manager here and one of our key strategic partners in Luxury Vacation Investments. So tell us a little bit about your background, your journey of getting here to Tulum, and what that looked like.
It was definitely an interesting story. During the pandemic, I decided to come and visit Tulum just to check it out, to get away. It was one of the places that was open and fell in love. The third day, I was like, wow, I'm going to buy a place here. I was on vacation with my brother and he was like, you're not buying a place here. We're on vacation. You're an idiot. You little sister stuff. And I was like, no, I'm buying a place here. I was out the second day looking at real estate and I fell in love with it. So I ended up buying land, building a villa, and along the way, I stayed in one of the Airbnbs and I was like, wow, every single stay is flawed. No toilet paper, no hot water, no response, can't find anything. Nobody understands me. The place was dirty. There's
Don't we all know this?
So it was just like a really big struggle. And with my background in Airbnb management, marketing, business, sales, real estate, interior design, I was like, I think I need to come here and make a difference. So our house was delivered in the beginning of 2022. I think at first we thought, oh, we'll get a manager, we'll start this later. But we decided after we interviewed managers, we were like, I think it's a good time to just start now. So at the end of 2022, we started our business. We went into our first high season with 2 units, went to our second high season with 45 units. This year we went with 92 units.
Wow.
It was a ride each time. High season is such a ride, but we really feel like we have cornered the market here. We have really created something special and a more North American experience for our guests. I think that was what I felt was missing. So we decided to start this business here and it just grew like wildfire, And I think that now with 90 units and great partners like you guys, we're really creating a really special experience for our guests.
And that's kind of similar to my story in the sense of I actually came here to Tulum for a wellness retreat at the beginning of 2023, and my real estate brain went off, but also my visionary brain, and I said the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna have a place here. And I told a couple of people and they were just like, why Tulum? We're crazy. It was my first time here. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. It's just the energy of the place. And I just saw opportunity. And at that time, I didn't even know that there was going to be an international airport launched that December.
Yeah, me neither.
I hadn't even heard that news. And I was thinking, I just want to have a place here that I can come to and that would be a source of passive income for me personally. So I came back a couple months later with that intention and I started looking at studios. They were like 100,000 at the time. And I was like, this could be cool. I stayed in one of your studios to get a feel for it. And I started doing the recon and the market research. And I was like, this could make sense. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. If I did this and replicated this same idea for myself in other places in the world, maybe I could have a few places in places that I love to have a stream of income and a place to stay. And then I was like, what if I helped other people do this? How cool would that be to help other people have that feeling of ownership in a property, that pride, a place to go and stay for free and have passive income in different parts of the world? So that's where the concept started for me and where this whole business model started. And then as soon as I met Rachel through one of my strategic real estate partners, introduced me to her. And then when I found out the interior design background combined with real estate and then coming into the market here and creating this unique value proposition of this rental market. And in addition to that, the North American mentality, because coming to Mexico, as I'm sure you all know, it's a little bit different how businesses are run here and how personalities are and things, right?
Even just how people not only do business, but just how they perceive things, how they work, like employees, how they work, processes, all of that. I think we take for granted all the time that in the US and Canada that we have all these standards and business processes, and they don't have that here. So that creates a really big opportunity, I think, for people like you and I to elevate the guest experience, have a beautiful property, meet all of these goals that we all have of having places somewhere that creates income for you. And I think that was the same thing for me. I was like, oh, I want to have other income. Maybe we want to retire here, but overall we want to just do something different.
I agree. There's no right or wrong about the way people work or do business here. It feels a little bit inefficient to us sometimes just because we come from that Canadian or American, North American history and background of systems and processes and protocols. And it's just a little more laxy-daisy here, which is also really nice. So what I love about all of our strategic partnerships here is that we have this sense of efficiency, but still the laid-back mentality, as opposed to bringing that sort of energy in. It's a
Right.
more...
We're
it's like
still on island time, and we
Yeah,
are
exactly.
living in Tulum. We are in a beautiful place. Everyone lives here because they want to enjoy how beautiful it is. So that creates a little bit of a different work environment. But I think when we're talking about investments and making the best choice for your investment, you have to have all the ingredients. You have to have the location, you have to have the unit, you have to have whatever, how many people it sleeps, and it has to be decorated really right. But then you need the marketing, you need the photos, you need all the platforms, you need the guest experience, and then you even need a great owner experience. So I think it's really having a whole package and having the partners.
Yeah, and that's why we essentially created this whole ecosystem here, from concierge service to, which entails and encompasses drivers, chefs to come to your villas or the places that you're staying, all the things that you would want to have as an experience. Because I know for me, when I travel anywhere in the world, but especially here, you need to know where to go if you don't speak the language. Especially the taxi drivers will rip you off. You need to have a whole experience pertaining to your stay. It's not just where am I staying.
And people don't have that much time to vacation anymore. Everybody's grinding and working, and they've got a side hustle, and they have this and that. So 4, 5, 7 days is super precious to them. So they really want to make sure that they go to the right beach club, go to the right restaurant, have the right experience, so that way, I don't know, they can recharge and relax. And
totally. And there are so many little minutia things to know about Tulum that you wouldn't know unless you lived here, frequented here often.
Yeah.
There's a chat GPT or an AI platform that specifically deals with travel. I don't know if you guys have ever used it, but I did a test on it and asked, create me an itinerary for Tulum, Mexico, for example, because I knew where I would want to go when I come here now. And the thing is they don't know what days of the week to avoid what places or to go to what places. And it differs from high season to low season as well. If you want a vibe versus if you want a party, or if you want quiet time, where to go, what restaurant, what beach club, what experience. If you have kids, if you're older, if you're younger,
going to spit that out for you.
Exactly. And you don't know the essence of that unless you're really in it. So I found that as something really important, that for our community, we want to give that experience to them by saying, not only do we have a place for you to stay in that you're going to have a really nice experience, but here's our concierge that's going to curate whether your culinary experience or your wellness or whatever.
Yeah, whatever your purpose of your vacation, they can plan one thing or 10 things or the whole trip or whatever. We do bachelorette parties and things like that too. Even photographers and makeup. It's fun to have a photo shoot. I think a lot of people, I don't know, that's like kind of a luxury thing. And in the US and Canada, you can't just get a chef to come to your house. That's a super luxury thing. Your masseuse, it's not bad living here. Love to have my weekly massages at my house, my lashes done at my...
And just being able to relinquish control and be like, you know what, I'm going to Tulum in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Here you go, here's my dates. And then you can focus on your work or what you're doing and let us take care of all the details for you.
Right.
And that's another thing I enjoy about our experience too, is we're both so interior design, holistic, and detail oriented, which I think not that a lot of people aren't, but I think that that's one of our strengths.
Right, for sure. Creating the best guest experience, which is translating into the best investment for investors, so that you grab that more occupancy and things like that. It's definitely to talk about the Tulum market a little bit and how it's different. It's a big market now, right? 15,000 Airbnbs here. So you have a lot of different things happening. So from my background, working in the Nashville, Tennessee, and the Scottsdale markets, really understanding a big market versus, oh my gosh, this is a hot market in 2020, the pandemic, you could put a chair in a room, you could make your money. Now you really got to have, like I said, the whole recipes, and now the design, the aesthetic, the marketing, all of the platforms, all of that. Your interior design of your unit can give you 15% more occupancy a year, and that's a lot of money to leave on the table when you're making an investment. But like in these markets where it's really big, you have to do the whole job. You can't just buy the unit and say, oh, I'm going to furnish it with Wayfair and it's going to be cute and who cares, it's a rental. It's like, no, you're in here. This is a real business now. Airbnb is public. There's a million new tech companies coming on every day trying to corner the multi-billion-dollar market that we're in. So you have to be positioned with the right people and have that whole ecosystem to actually succeed and do well.
100%. And side note to that, just to add, is we are in the middle of the jungle, essentially. So to get furniture is, tell us a little bit about that process. It's not just like, oh, let's just.
So my interior design business in the US, we have all our vendors, we source it online, just ordering, it goes to a warehouse, it gets delivered. There's some challenges in that process too, but here it's a lot different. We design all of this furniture from scratch. Sometimes we send our carpenters drawing, how much is this? So the process is a lot different. We have makers for metal, glass, marble, cabinetry, upholstery, curtains, all those things. And we don't really do from a catalog. A lot of these vendors are like, hey, we have these 30 things, we want to choose. For us, we're like, no, we want to make a concept. We want a bespoke experience. We want the guests to come here and be like, oh my gosh, remember that sofa? Remember that artwork? So we're all coming from the heart in every single house to generate an experience for the guest. Now, so that's one thing, the quoting and all of that. Well, also like the delivery, the getting it, the time period, the whole thing. It was a humbling experience when I started designing here, because I was just like, oh, whatever, you just order the stuff. You don't order the stuff. And you cannot import stuff. You cannot, it's very difficult. It's going to cost you 30% more to have your favorite West Elm TV cabinet.
Well, and also that's not necessarily the vibe here.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are coming here because they want to stay in a villa or a condo in Tulum. So keeping the essence of the Tulum vibe while also encompassing comfortable, luxury, all of those things it's not as easy as it is in other parts of the world.
This is a different market. People come here for the aesthetics, and if you decorate it wrong, they will not come. People, they want neutrals, they want textures. They like modern, but they don't want it to be too modern. They also don't want it to be too traditional. So it's definitely like it takes some skill to craft the right aesthetic that's going to be something that wins in Tulum. So we're really happy that we can bring that to our investors too. Not only do we manage your cleaning and inspections and maintenance, like we can do that, we can do your marketing, your booking, but we also can make sure that you are set up for success, whether it's advising on a house that is being built to make sure that it's, yes, the architect can make this look beautiful, but what is going to be the use? And then later, what is going to be the resale for you too? So really looking like our approach to this market is really holistic. It's really everything from the guest experience to the interior design, to the owner experience, to the after.
I agree with all of that. And to your point about working with builders, and if it's a condo, even our first one, the first penthouse that we got, working with a reputable developer, it being delivered on time, us being able to get access to have the furniture pre-ordered because everything takes a lot longer here. And just if you work with a developer or a builder that maybe isn't as reputable, then things are not as efficient. And the time mañana is a real thing. They say tomorrow, but that's 3-6 months from now. So that's a really important factor. And the other thing is still trying to keep something that's unique, because things that have unique value propositions on Airbnb, they all look like everything else. There's nothing to make it stand out. So it's kind of a fine balance to have something something that has the furniture that aligns with Tulum, and not too modern, but comfortable, flexible, but also stands out in the photos and things.
I think it's super important, right? I have to get up.
Yeah, so that's our first part of our series that we wanted to fill you guys in on. We are going to do a couple of more episodes on other topics, so stay tuned. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.